What a year. Feeling beaten down, just tired, wanting so desperately for everything to get back to normal? Raise your hand. Yep, me. Well, staying positive and working to build your business starts up here with your mindset. And today we're going to explore ways of things you can do to stay positive and keep looking forward and not get drugged down by the present rather, because we've got two outstanding professionals that will help you with your mindset today. See, on the Travel Think Tank, we explore all different types of options that might help you do better as an agent or a supplier. And that's what happens here at The Hub. I'm your host, Pat Miller, and this is where the travel industry gathers under one roof. And today is an interactive discussion on how you can keep your mind right and positive during these challenging times. Before we go to our experts, let's talk to our leader back at Hub HQ, my partner, Tom Brousseau. Tom, you're feeling better and you look better. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I feel fantastic. I'm thoroughly done with the turkey and all the Thanksgiving and all the lounging around, and I'm ready to get back to work. And I'm really looking forward to today's session. We have Ariel and Cyrina, two really great professionals, bringing something, totally and very much needed to the Hub. We talked a little bit before the show started about kind of people's mindset and how we deal with the onslaught of media issues and just the ups and downs of what it takes to be successful in our business. And, getting level set and getting in the right frame of mind is really a huge key. So I'm really looking forward to today's conversation about that. Because we all need that. It's hard, it's hard to keep positive. It's hard to keep your head in the right place. Make sure that you can that you can get some sleep at night and not worry yourself to death about what might or might not happen. So awesome. Looking forward to that. And then we have some great stuff cooking. We just wrapped up with some great fireworks for the Fall Fiesta. We finished up. We actually beat our goal of 400 members. So thank you so much. A few people jumped in there, like our friend Jen Evans, last minute to make sure that the word was getting out. So, yep. And if you look at who joined us, we really have a couple of great agents who joined us last minute that I'm super excited about. So that's really awesome. And then going into December, we have some other great things cooking. We definitely want to keep things going and in terms of the hub for the holidays, let's call it. So I am working on that right now. Working with hopefully a great new partner for the month of December so that we can keep the momentum going. So more to come on that.
I can't believe it, Tom. August 3rd, the Hub went live. And now
Yes.
December 1st, we're up to 400 members, agents and suppliers. I mean, that feels great. I mean, what do you think?
Not bad. And I think, notwithstanding to the numbers, and what I always tell people is that, we could probably have 1,000 now if we wanted to, but we've really been focused on doing it the right way, inviting the right types of members, really building it from referrals. We're not doing a bunch of crazy advertising and just trying to get anybody to sign up. We want, it's all about quality versus quantity. And I think that's super important, because with everyone that does join, we bring lots of great experience and ideas and insight. And I think that, we have a lot to be thankful for related to how things have changed since August 3rd, for sure.
Well, we will show you how to hub for the holidays at the end of the program today. But let's get to the good stuff, because our job today is to have a conversation about you. And when you talk about mindset, sometimes people talk about mindset and the conversation is a little woo-woo and people are just making it up. That is absolutely not what's going to be happening today, because today we have two brilliant trained professionals, Cyrina Talbott from Life Back Therapy and Ariel Kopac from Harness Your Hindrance. So Cyrina and Ariel, welcome to you both to the show. Just so people know a little bit about what you do. Ariel, can you tell us about your company and how you help entrepreneurs get ahead?
Certainly. Yeah. So my business is Harness Your Hindrance, and the philosophy is in the name. You can take control and make use of anything that's holding you back, even to the point of it propelling you forward. And I truly believe that the greatest thing holding you back is your mind, your mindset. And that's why Cyrina and I partner on this mindset coaching. We are both mindset coaches and really believe in the power of that. So I do that primarily with sales professionals, commission-based sales professionals who, if they don't get out of their own way and break through their mindset blocks, they're not bringing home a great paycheck and building the business that they desire.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cyrina, how about you with Life Back Therapy? Ariel introduced herself. Let's hear about you.
Yes, and I'm going to share I am in the middle of rebranding, so I'm going to share my new business name, which is the
Ooh, yes.
Mindset Transformation Company. So just a little clearer than the old name. So I do the same thing. I'm a mindset coach, and I'm also a rapid transformational therapist. So I help people deal with their mindset and their limiting beliefs. And I also help people that are experiencing overwhelm and anxiety. I work with individuals, and business owners are my focus, and anything in your life where you know what you're supposed to be thinking, you know how you're supposed to be feeling, and you're just stuck repeating behaviors and, you know, the mental statements in our head that are holding us back and that aren't helping us. So I help people understand that and then be able to shift that and change it. And yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to have this conversation.
Well, we're excited to have you both. And Cyrina, let's ask you the first question. It's hard enough to stay positive and work through in a positive light when things are going great. But this is 2020 and you're talking to travel agents, so it's pretty much been the worst year of all time. So many of the folks in the hub are having a hard go of it. When you talk about mindset to a group like this, what's the first thing that comes to mind out of your head that you want them to know about how they should be handling the current situation?
So the first thing that I think of, and I actually had a client recently that was a travel agent, is to be kind to yourself. I think sometimes we put so much pressure on us, like you said, with that mindset, like, oh, just think positive and woo woo, and like, I just need to feel better. And so what I really believe is that people who are going through hard times right now in the travel industry, in the restaurant industry, in any industry that's shut down, the people who are going to be able to be there when it opens and be available and have the energy and the capacity to handle all the people that are just waiting to travel because they're going insane are the people who are able to process those emotions now, process the negative emotions, be kind to yourself, take time to allow whatever it is, if it's grief, if it's sadness, if it's even a feeling of depression, as you are able to work through that and don't beat yourself up for that. Really honor your emotions, honor yourself, honor this thing, this pandemic that we're all living through, and reach out for help if you need it. Connect with friends, have a place where you can go with that. The more you honor yourself in this thing that we're experiencing right now, the healthier you're going to be, and the more able, like I said, you're going to be there when things open up.
Is that what you mean by process your emotions? You find a place to take them, work through them, and move on? Can you explain that? Maybe not necessarily from a clinical term, but just something that we can take action on.
Yes, and I'm really glad you asked that because none of us know actually how to process emotions. So it's the ability to really sit with yourself when you're having a feeling and allow it in your body, because a lot of times our minds spin out, but when we allow it in our body, it can lessen. So if it is anxiety or fear or sadness or whatever it is, as you just give yourself 5 minutes or 20 minutes to experience that in your body, and then you sit with yourself and you say, okay, what's coming up? What am I feeling? What am I thinking about this? And then listen, that's what I mean by honoring, is really listening. Then at that moment, you can have the ability to reframe it or encourage yourself or reach out for help or see what support you need. So it's really taking time to listen to yourself and listen to what's happening. That's all that processing your emotions is, but we don't do it. We spin out and we judge ourselves and we say, I just need to feel better. We eat a sandwich or whatever we do. We usually don't spend the time to process our emotions. So that's the main thing.
Ariel, let's take this to business for a second. The travel industry, a lot of the folks in this room, they kind of feel like 2020 happened to them. Like it's nothing but bad news, day after day after day, nothing but bad news. How do we keep our mind on the business and trying to move it forward when every time we turn around, it's just another piece of disheartening news?
I tell people I'm not really a fan of the phrase, there's a reason for everything. I think that can diminish the impact of what you're feeling. As Cyrina says about sitting with your emotions, there's a reason for everything. It's like, well, this just sucks. And I think just saying that, acknowledging that it's okay. And it's happened to you. The pandemic has happened to a lot of people. And I'm not going to say it's happened for you, not to you, but I do believe that there is an opportunity to be found in every heartbreak, every disappointment, every challenge. It's not always about saying, well, there's a reason for this, or I should be happy that this happened. I think that that's putting an unfair expectation upon yourself. But I do believe that if you accept it as reality and then say, okay, what opportunity can I find from this? How can I make the best situation of this? What can I learn from this? How can I apply this? There's so much unpredictability with the world, and 2020 has certainly demonstrated that. But the one thing that I say never changes, whether it's politics or the economy or whatever's going on in the world, the one thing that never changes is human behavior. And so take into account your behavior, your client's behavior, what's going on, and what behavior can you accept and what behavior can you predict to find the opportunity.
So similar to what Cyrina was talking about, sitting and listening to yourself, how can you observe your own behavior or observe the behavior of your clients to try and find maybe the lessons that are inside this silver lining of the cloud?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So let's talk about why this is so hard to shake. Because when it's something going wrong in your personal life, it's not that that's easier to process, but when it's something wrong in the business, sometimes that lingers more. Maybe it's just me, but for others, sometimes it seems to linger longer. Is it tougher with your business than it is in your personal life, or is it all the same thing?
I don't know if I'd say it's the same thing, but I do think that we feel responsible for our business. So when our business isn't going well, we feel responsible for not going well, rather than just focusing on what we're responsible for, the actions, the pieces that we can own. But when you own a business, you feel very responsible for it, and you are responsible for it. But that doesn't mean that every time something goes wrong in your business or it's not going according to plan, that it's your fault. And I think that's where it can turn into more negative personal feelings and some of that emotion that gets twisted into negative self-talk and beliefs. But just because you're responsible for your business does not mean you're responsible for every negative thing that happens in and for your business.
Okay, I think that's fair. Red asks a question inside the chat. Why is it, or what is hard is that you have no control over what is happening. Is that adding to what's going on? Like none of this is our fault. So it's like, I think there's an anger almost as to what's going on. Is that just normal?
Yes. And it's the, oh, I lost my train of thought because I read the other, the question that somebody posted.
Is it normal to feel like
yeah,
angry because this is out of our control?
Yeah, and it really is out of our control, and it's normal to feel whatever comes up. So that's the thing, is sometimes the negative emotions that are coming up over this, the grief, and the other thing about our business is, in our business, you all set goals at the beginning of 2021, and this was not there. And so we have to deal with our expectations versus reality. And that's where all the emotions come up. The anger, the grief, the disappointment, all of those things. We have to wrap our mind around it. And our minds love what's familiar and expected and predictable. And none of this is that. So it's totally normal to feel disappointed and angry and upset and out of control and all of those things. And, you know, I might repeat myself a little, but it's your ability to allow those emotions and then be able to focus on the things that you can control.
Yeah. If you have any questions for Cyrina or Ariel, drop them in the chat. We'll work them into the conversation. I'm going to turn to when things get better here in a second. But Cyrina, while I have you, I want to just follow up one more time. What can we do right now to try and find positivity until things turn around? Are there any daily affirmations or any journaling, or what kind of actions can we take so we can be the internal observer that you recommend, or processing our emotions a little bit better? Any things that you would prescribe or recommend to someone?
Yeah, it's really finding the things that you can control. I know that the client that I worked with in the travel agency, she's doing some classes and doing some education while she's in this space. Also, I'm sure you're all doing it, but reaching out with past clients, staying connected, letting them all know that you're still here when things open up. It's things you can control in your personal life and your business. So it's things I'm recommending everybody, whether their business is going well right now or not, to take that extra time. If you need more rest, to absolutely to journal, to deal with your emotions, to reach out. I would encourage everybody here, if you don't already have that person that's in the travel agency that's going through what you're going through, to call on a weekly basis and just touch in, encourage each other, vent. That's something that people can do. Those are things you have control over. What would make me feel supported right now? That's an important question to ask every day. What would make me feel supported? And then take action on that. And as much as you can, don't feed your mind constantly the things you can't control, right? The news and the numbers and the statistics and whatever it is. We have access to that 24/7 now. So it's really important that we limit it so that we're not overwhelming ourselves with things we can't do anything about.
So thank you for that, Cyrina. Ariel, let me ask you this question. So let's talk when things are starting to turn around now. Let's imagine that, okay, people are starting to book, things are going the right way. Is it normal to feel skeptical of the good news when it comes? And how can we get ourselves ready to hear the good stuff when it's finally here?
Yes, to your first question, it's absolutely normal. I also say that every feeling is normal. There's no normalcy to feelings. Feelings are indicators, and it's really about thinking what is the feeling indicating. Skepticism is normal, and it's also not an all bad thing. I think it's wise to have some level of skepticism, but don't let your skepticism prevent your optimism. That's where it's okay to be skeptical and think, I don't want to give myself this buy into the thought of now everything's going to be peaches and roses, because something is going to become a challenge in the future regardless. It's having that awareness, but not letting your skepticism cloud over your optimism to the point where then you're not engaging in that opportunity. If your skepticism is holding you back from taking that opportunity because you're afraid it might not work out, then you're creating the very reality that you fear. So thinking, okay, I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity, and no one thing is going to be the golden egg. No one thing is going to make or break my business. I'm just going to take advantage of every opportunity that I can and celebrate that win. That's one thing Cyrina and I are talking about right now with our clients, celebrating your wins, focusing on your wins, and letting that build your momentum. Because whether it's a win every week or a win every month, as long as you focus on those wins and you're building that momentum, you're not letting your skepticism or the negatives or the fears prevent your optimism.
That's a great line. If I could write that down, I'd be writing that down right now. Skepticism, optimism. That's really good. Cyrina, how do we celebrate wins? What do you tell people to do when it's time to celebrate a win?
Well, it's training your brain to look for them. So you make a habit. Like Ariel mentioned, our homework for the members of the Mindset for Money and Motivation, their homework was to find a win every day. So depending on your life, a win is something, very different. Did you reach out to a friend? Did you connect with someone? Did you do something for yourself today? Or is it in your business? Certainly, if anything, if you get a client, if you have something, a sale, something good happen to you, absolutely. But our minds are automatically more focused on the negative. That's a survival technique that our brains have. So we have to train them to focus on the positives. And especially right now, it's a double whammy. So we have to make sure that we're focusing on that, something that's going well. So when you do that, you'll train your brain like a muscle to do that more often. And that will make you feel better.
My win for today, I had 2 wins. I got to talk to you 2. And I got my nice Mickey Mouse mug out for my tea for the show. So that's my little baby win.
That counts.
Hey, you know what?
Counts.
I'm writing it down, damn it, because that's my win today. I do want to ask, Ariel, this is one of your areas of expertise, is the sales mindset, because many of the folks on the call are agents and they sell travel for a living. So can you touch a little bit on just how salespeople could and should think to try and maximize their opportunities?
Oh, you asked me a big question there, Pat.
I know. Come on. Go.
Oh, there's so much to that, but I love the question. So I think one thing that's really important with sales is to not hold back the opportunity from your clients and your potential clients. Your responsibility I think sales is service. Not everyone is in need of your service or is in the market for your service, but sales is service. And when you hold back, you're holding back from those whom you could serve. Not everyone's going to take advantage of the service, but it is your responsibility to offer that service. And I think that is the mindset to take is I'm going to offer, I'm going to reveal, I'm going to show, and it's up to them whether or not they take advantage of that opportunity. But when you bring in fear into the conversation, hesitancy, they feel that, and they feel if you're hesitant, questioning, concerned, their response, because our communication is less in the words and more about how we say the words, people hear how we say the words. If you're bringing in fear, uncertainty, concern, hesitation, they hear that and they're like, well, maybe should I have fear? Should I have concern? Should I have hesitation? Should I not be taking this opportunity? Because they hear that fear and that hesitation in your voice. So that's my thought process when it comes to sales is take the lead with certainty and with conviction. And if it's right for them, they'll follow. But it's your responsibility to lead, and up to them whether or not they follow your lead.
Well, and right now, one of the big opportunities agents have is to be that voice of authority. And we know, the royal we know where you can and can't go. We know what the restrictions are and are not. So we are coming from a position of authority, which is really exciting. Something Cyrina touched on, which I thought was cool, is finding someone to connect with. And that's what the hub is all about. So this is a place full of travel agents and travel suppliers. So message someone that you would like to talk to. Cyrina talked about some best practices for processing emotions. Talking to this group, Ariel, is there anything that you would recommend that someone does on a daily basis that might help them stay in the positive mindset and make the most of today?
Yes. So one is, as ironic as this sounds, I wouldn't recommend staying in the positive mindset as much as working through to get to the positive mindset. Phrase I use is the only way to is through. You have to go through the emotions. That doesn't mean sit in that for long periods of time. That doesn't mean obsess. That doesn't mean, go spiral off into. But sometimes the only way to is through. Feelings are indicators, and it's important to take a minute to say, all right, what is this indicating? What am I afraid of? What am I concerned? How am I potentially preventing myself from opportunity? And really sitting in that time of questioning, asking yourself those questions, getting that clarity, and then saying, all right, let's move forward and focus on one thing that you can do to make progress today. I always say progress, not perfection. That got me through a whole year. There was a point at which I was going crazy. I'm a mindset coach because I nearly destroyed my own mind with perfectionism and all of those things. And I would just say, whenever I would get caught up and frustrated and this isn't working right and that's not working right, and I had a whole moment of discovery, and every time that happened, I would just say, progress, not perfection, progress, not perfection, progress, not perfection. So I would say it 10 times until I finally said, okay, I'll do this one thing to make progress. Yeah. And so just one thing, whether it's to make yourself feel better, to reach out to a client, to think about something you'll do in the future with your business, or to think of something you can do today. What's one thing that you can do to make progress and build that momentum? Because as Cyrina was saying about the muscle, with focusing on the wins, it's not just about your mind focusing on the wins so you can celebrate and have a more positive mindset. It's also when you do that, your mind starts to look for the potential wins, not just the existing wins, but the potential wins, which sets you up for that time when there's opportunity.
Making progress every day, celebrating our wins every day. Both of those are really good pieces of advice. Tom, co-founder of the Hub, is mentioning a standalone group inside the Hub to focus on mindset and positivity. And it's funny that Tom brings that up because, hey, Cyrina, you and Ariel are doing that exact thing. Can you tell us about the program that you're running?
Yeah, we have just started. So we've had one session so far. It started in November. So the fourth Monday of every month at 10 a.m., we're doing mindset for money and motivation. And it's interesting. We have the people in the group already. We do training for the first half hour, and then we do Q&A for the second half. And even though no one in that group so far at this time is a travel agent, the number one question was, we're scared. What do we do? And that's people that have flourishing businesses. So we get to, I'm so excited because we get to walk alongside meeting, once a month and being able to support people in those questions. What do I do with that? And then any questions pertaining to mindset, motivation, money blocks, we're going to be available to answer those, as well as the training that we do for the first half, which is all about setting up your mindset for success in the different areas that we'll be talking about. So that's the fourth Monday of every month.
Now, I was teasing a little bit when we started that we weren't going to be woo-woo. So I want you to prove to me that this is not woo-woo. With the people that you two have worked with in the past, when their mindset gets right, what happens to their business? Does it really help your business grow? Does it really work?
You want to go, Ariel, or me?
I'll
I'm
go.
sure you're both ready to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Seriously, give us some facts here. Give us some proof of performance.
sure. I worked with a client recently who, and I hope that's not my connection. I worked with a client recently who was not sending out proposals, who was underbidding, who wasn't confident in her sales. She would get on a call and then lower her prices. And so we worked on the mindset, and we really worked on that subconscious level where I work with clients to figure out, okay, what's the belief? What's going on? When did it happen? How do we release it? And so immediately she was able to, so every time she was sending a proposal and it got a no, she was feeling completely rejected, and it was keeping her from doing that. It was this awful feeling all around it. So we worked on the mindset, and she was able to just send out a whole bunch of proposals with ease and really separate her value from her product, right? So that was the thing that was happening. And we didn't even do any woo-woo.
No woo-woo required.
Just worked on the mindset.
All right, Ariel, I know you well enough
I
to
love it.
you want to rip my head off right now. So come on, tell me how this works and how it works for people when it works.
I love it. Well, and something I hear frequently when I give my presentations on limiting beliefs to explain what it is, they're like, you take a very scientific approach. And I said, I actually have a very skeptical mind. I have to know how things work. And once I studied the mind and mindset and limiting beliefs and learning how they work, I was like, oh, this really is scientific. They can actually show in the brain how our emotions and our memories and our subconscious are the driver behind our choices and our actions. We tend to think that we're logical minded or released, that we should be. That's not how our mind works. We have to dig a little bit deeper to unlock that. And when you do, the way I say it is, I'm not there to make you do something or change you into somebody else. I'm there to help you break those blocks, because you have all of that potential within you. And it's just about removing those barriers to let it flow. And when you do, it's incredible. And so, yeah, clients who've had a 78% increase in production. One client recently, we worked through a money block. I think it was month or two ago, worked through a money block, and he was like, I'm just on this roller coaster of whenever I have money, I don't keep it. Whenever I have money, it gets lost. I'm always focused on what's not working. And when we dug into that a little bit and figured out what his beliefs were around money, and flipped that, then I asked him the next month how he was doing, and he's like, I got this deal, this deal, this deal, this deal. And he's like, it was like the money just flowed in because I started just seeing the opportunities and asking for them. He's like, it was that simple, but his mind had to allow him to see it. We have to allow ourselves to see what's right in front of us and take advantage of it and take that opportunity. And that's when things start to really flow. So it's really about breaking those blocks more than creating something that doesn't exist.
It's not something I'd considered until Tom brought it up, but if you guys were to spin up another group for the hub, is that something you two would consider?
Hanging out with Ariel for another hour? I don't know. Yeah.
I know. It'd be a real challenge.
We love it. We said, we literally, when we started working on this together, we were like, I don't think we're supposed to be this much fun.
Yeah.
But we actually do believe it is. But yes, we love working together. And we both said one of the reasons for us starting a group mindset coaching was that we wanted to make it more affordable and accessible to others, and to help others through these common mindset blocks that we see time and time again, where, everyone that Cyrina mentioned, I said yes. Everyone I mentioned, she said yes. We've seen them time and time again, and we want to help more people break through those blocks.
Yeah. Well, as a guest here on the hub, it's great to learn from you two today. And I think people will be surprised at how affordable your packages are. Can you just give us an idea of how much you're charging for someone to be a part of this? Because we're not going to see you again unless you come on again, which you're going to. But I'm just curious, if someone wants to know more about it, how do they sign up? And if you were going to do one for us, how much would it be per person? Do you know?
Ooh, really putting us on the spot here, Pat.
I'm putting you on the spot. Hey, opportunity calls. Capture the opportunity. I just learned that that's important.
You did. That was really good, Pat. As a sales coach, I'm very proud. No, so what we do for the group mindset coaching that we've put together, Mindset for Money Motivation, like I said, the blocks that we see are very common. They're the same ones, regardless of what industry or business you're in. We charge a low rate of $57 per person for the group mindset coaching, and Cyrina and I both did that because we really do want to make it accessible and affordable to more people. We said this, we want this to be for those who are thriving and also those who are starving. We want it to be accessible to all, but everyone who's bought into really doing this tough work, because the awareness that comes is not always easy. You know, you have to be willing to do that introspective work. So if you believe that there is a good amount of people in the hub who are in that space and wanting to work through those feelings, better understand how their mindset works, I would propose, based on with looking at Cyrina through the screen, propose we would mimic and or invite and perhaps do a subpart from our current working.
Well, not to put you two on the spot, but we're fans here at the hub, that's for sure. Tom, something you want to weigh in about this?
Oh, well, I just want to say, like, you know, today is just a little bit, you know, like a little appetizer of really what I think what you guys bring to the opportunity into the hub here, because I think for all of us, and you know, kind of speaking on behalf of, you know, my colleagues and so forth that are on this call, is, you know, we've dug ourselves, you know, a pretty big mental, emotional, psychological hole of stress over the last 8 months. And I think we all pretty much know that, but like for me personally, and probably lots of others, is you just kind of ignore it, right? You just write it off, or you just deal, you get up, you go to bed at night, you get up in the morning, you do your thing, you have some cocktails to ease the pain from time to time. And you know what? And you just go, you know, kind of go on and plow through life, right? You like, what's the right word for it? Like, you know, for me, like, put your big boy pants on and just get back to work. Well, in the meantime, you know, from what Cyrina and Ariel are expressing, you know, there's a lot more that we could be doing, and from a mental health standpoint, or just from a positivity and mindset standpoint, that, you know, we could function better, we could be happier, we can be more successful if, you know, we'd have some professional support that, you know, can bring us to a better place. So thanks to both of you, Ariel and Cyrina, for, you know, giving us that initial insight. And I think the hub would be a great place, you know, even if it was just a once a month check-in that our members could attend to, you know, to just try to figure out how to do better in all of these areas. I think that'd be fantastic, and a great thing that we could offer, and rightfully that people should pay for because of the expertise that Ariel and Cyrina bring. So that's my comment.
Totally agree, Tom. Cyrina, final thoughts? We gave Ariel a shout here. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, it would be really interesting, and I think a different atmosphere, and really important to have a group of people, you know, as travel agents, and you're all in the same situation, where I think that could be really supportive of dealing with the specific issues to your industry and where you guys are at, and recent news and all of that kind of stuff. I think that would be really fun, and a good opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys both for coming on and sharing your information today. It's always great to talk to you. And I know that one way or another, you help people on the call today. So continue doing what you're doing, and hopefully we can have you back on the hub sometime soon. Ariel, Kopac, and Cyrina Talbott, thank you so much for coming on. All right, so let's talk just for a second, Tom, about our fancy new holiday hub promotion. This is going to be a thing, my friend.
It is. Yeah, one way or the other, it's going to be a thing. It's still, like I said, a little bit in progress, hub for the holidays. But I think we're definitely going to have something cool and fun to kind of keep the momentum going, as we talked about. So stand by for that. And then the Fall Fiesta is like we said, is a wrap. And on Thursday, we're going to announce our big winner, because remember, Charisma Resorts and our friends at Lomas Travel gave us a really cool giveaway. So we're going to have Susie Moon put to work the random prize winner generator, so that we can pick out a winner for Thursday.
That's going to be great. Let's show you one time just how you can invite people.
And before we go to, I just want to talk about Thursday's morning show. And
oh, yes, that's big.
In a little bit more detail. So do you want me to do that right now? Or do you
go ahead. I'm all excited for Thursday.
So for those of you that didn't see the email today, our weekly email on Thursday, and I think he's here with us right now, or did he have to go? Yeah, I think he might have had to go. So on Thursday, we have the one and only Mr. Las Vegas, somebody near and dear to all of our hearts, Mr. Joel Peterson. is going to be joining us on the morning show. Joel is a sales executive for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, known far and wide in our industry, and he's really going to be a great guest. So make sure that you are all there on Thursday to see Joel, because he definitely knows how to bring it.
Oh yeah, he's a great guest, and
24/7.
exciting stuff to talk about for sure. So
Yep.
let's do real quick, just so you know how to invite people to Hub for the holidays. You get in here, you click members, and inside members, you click invite. And there you can drop in the email address of the supplier or the travel agent that you think is super smart and should be a part of the Hub. Or you can scroll down here at the bottom and grab your unique share link, and you start earning badges when you get more than 3 people invited using your link. So members, invite, and then grab the code. The other thing I want to let you know about, and we're really wanting to encourage, is we want your participation inside the main feed. Anytime you have something to add, drop it in. Doesn't matter what it is. Hey, I'm using my Mickey Mouse cup. Take a picture. Doesn't matter. It's all about the community. It's all about having fun. So make sure that you're posting in here often and you're engaging with people when they post, because the more we get involved, the more fun this place is. And just for a second, maybe I'm going to get woo-woo for a second. Think how much fun this place will be when everything's on fire again. When everything's back up and running and we're booking stuff left and right, this is going to be so much fun. And we're going to look back on December 1st, 2020, when we had Ariel and Cyrina on trying to talk us through the bad times. We're going to be able to celebrate together. And that's what a community is all about. So thank you so much to Ariel and Cyrina for coming on today. Thanks to Tom and Danielle for their work, Susie for her work. Our next show will be Thursday for the morning show, 11:30 Central, talking my favorite subject, Las Vegas, baby. We'll see you then. Thanks for coming by. Have a great afternoon.